Good morning and welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 16th of November. So starting off looking at the euro dollar. Actually, before I do that, let's just look at the news. There's no significant news coming out today. We've got the ECB financial stability review at 9 o'clock. I can't see a lot coming from that. Lagarde speaking at 1 p.m. Again, she's due to speak at the World Economic Forum's Pioneers of Change Summit. Well, I don't think we'll see too much coming out of those sort of webinars and presentations. That's pretty much it during our session. We've got the Assistant Governor speaking in Australia at 10:30 p.m. UK time, or GMT I should say. But in our normal trading time there's very light, so we're left to the technicals once again, and let's press on to those. Euro dollar, we pushing up here. We've continued this sort of little move. Friday saw us on a close on an up day. We're pushing up a little bit as I speak. We're just seeing this little trend running through. Well, we've got the weekly pivot sitting below us, and the daily pivot no doubt will also be below. Let me just edit this daily pivot to make sure I've got one that's correct. Let's just set on a daily bar, or near correct. It's not quite perfect. There we go. So we've got the weekly and daily pivot sitting below price at this stage. So any breakdown that gives us sort of targets in terms of where price may run to, but at the moment the euro's taking a bit of a run, not one that I really want to join in with at this stage. So we'll, as I say, we'll wait and see if we get a bit of a breakdown. Just looking at short-term time frames, but it's quite early. It's only 5 to 8 as I'm recording. Okay, let's push on. The pound. So pound as well. Pound help was holding up much better most of the time on Friday, and closed up positively. It's already back to its weekly pivot, and it's moved back slightly towards that. A daily pivot, if it was to roll over here, it's in a half decent trend in the near term here. Intermediate time frames, it's short term time frames even. High lows, high highs pushing through there, looking okay at the moment, maybe for some further upside, but we'll see how that runs. But as I say, I do like the potential for that daily pivot to be hit at some stage if it starts selling off, but nothing on the upside in terms of towards trading at the moment. Yen also here, daily picture again, we're seeing sort of a strengthening of the yen. Double topped last week. Since then it's sort of moving back, staying not far away from its mean regression here, and well, that's where it's running, looking like it may have some further downside as we run through the day. But again, daily pivot may get hit again if we see any sort of break of this trend. It may give us a target to the upside, intermediate, or may just become a point where we could short into or go long into on the euro pound alternatives. Canadian dollar. So the Canadian dollar here, daily wise, well, it's strengthening a little. Well, the dollar's weakening against the Canadian dollar, I should say. So we're seeing that sort of bit of weakness at the moment. If it starts a week like this, well, we may see a continuation. We have got the weekly pivot below, which it's heading towards. Daily pivot yet again above. So the Canadian dollar hasn't been in such a long-term trend as some of the other markets, a bit shorter. It's only really pitched in through from Friday, but as I say, it may be more prudent just waiting for the retracements to sell into these markets at the moment, although whether they're long-term moves we'll see. New Zealand dollar again being one of the favoured, and well, it's pitched up again, looking like it wants to make some new highs. It already pitched through its weekly pivot area, not actually hit the weekly pivot by the looks of it on the this today. No, it's come short of the weekly pivot there. It moved up before midnight. Weekly, daily pivots to target if it was to soften or use as potential support areas. That's particularly where there were the key moving averages. So a bit of patience looking at these currency markets. The equity markets themselves, getting ahead of myself there. Equity markets being pushed up this morning as well. We're seeing a little bit a push at this stage. It's all early on these markets. So often we see the sort of early move pre 8 o'clock, and then you get a move and it all sort of changes turn. But at the moment the dollar seems to be losing a bit of ground. Equity is pushing up here, and all looking quite good for a moment. Okay, that's that. Let's have a quick look at oil. Just been watching this lately. It was picking up. Yep. Okay, so it was pulled back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, getting a bounce off the weekly pivot at the moment. So you're just short of the weekly pivots. Airkist come a bit short there, but it's from that area at least, a sort of ghosting pivot. So getting a bit of a bounce at the moment, but still in a downward trend there. Maybe see a correction later. Okay, that's pretty much it for me for today. As I say, nothing in the way of significant news. We're left to the technicals. May just have to wait until post 8 o'clock and see if any of these currencies put a bit of a reversal on, or back to their sort of pivots. Otherwise, going to be sitting on my hands for a while this morning. Have a good day. Bye for now.